Okay, so let's take a look at the evidence, shall we? I don't have any sound. There we go.
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone. A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings.
Voodoo.
Her key to the altar room. That's not for bedtime reading. This ex libris belongs to Manchio's library.
Police found the Sakal book in Matisse's bag during the arrest. According to the ex libris, the tome was taken from Mr. Manchio's collection. It contains illustrations and descriptions of a ritual similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the power you possess. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that he does not love you. Rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol representing your love. While waiting for the resurrection, recite the charm.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. An emergency kit for boredom.
Letter that was found in Vogel's evidence box. Is your mind unsound? You can't control your bitterness, not around me anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can be, speak, and play with anyone I choose. I'm not another Matista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving you, although Matista will still be around. Fabio.
Not the time for privacy. Werner's personal sketchbook.
Okay, I'm missing one. Keys.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. Thank you, officer.
So we have more evidence. We're going to talk to Vogel probably about that. We're going to talk to her about that and that. Okay. Angry letter from Fabio. No. There we go. Coordinates sent has been shitty, and by the content of the letter, it may have been addressed to Kurt Manchios. Okay. Let's go talk to them again. Fucking, why are they here? Why are they allowed to just drink? Fucking stupid. 4 and 3.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
Okay.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive.
Reestablishing the cleansing.
And I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Okay.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Could there have been something going on between Panchetti and...
Please let me out.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
You being on a bender?
touché.
Whoa.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
I'm not 100% certain. I do believe she was bruised by a guest. I also believe that she was trying to use white magic. I feel like I'm missing something still. Trying to do is trying to
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
I have to just solve it. All right. To right his wrongs, to be rid of his monstrous uncle. That one. Wrong. Wrong. Also wrong. Really?
continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
See if I can talk, if there's anything else that I'm missing.
Let's continue our chat a little later.
I have to do the actual accusation, and I do think it was him.
I know who killed Fabio.
So I'm free to go, sir?
Quite the opposite. I think it was you, Mr. Pinchetti.
That is not possible.
Allow me to explain. The blood on your shoe tells me that you were with Fabio. You stabbed him with the dagger while he was still alive. You drew a sigil on him. There was a great deal of blood. You needed to remove it. Blood is almost like glue. It sticks to everything, dries quickly, and is quite visible. But you know how to handle stains. You are Kurt Manchios's major domo. However, despite your best efforts, you missed a spot.
It doesn't make sense, sir. I was never there. I am convinced there's a reasonable explanation.
You wanted to be rid of your dear uncle. I myself barely know him and already find him intolerable. You've worked for him for years. Santos, do this. Santos, do that. He doesn't pay you. He doesn't recognize your work. He doesn't see you as family. But you thought that heritage might be yours. Instead, all you'll ever receive is mustache wax. It is painful to witness such a situation. I cannot imagine how it must be for you. So you decided to frame your uncle. Put the blame for Fabio's murder on him. That way, the heritage is yours, and you are free of him.
Half of what you say is true. I'm in pain. I have had a hard time with my uncle, but I'm not a murderer. I can't even stand up to my uncle. How could I have killed Fabio? He did nothing to me.
He was a source of your troubles too, though, especially since Mr. Manchios treated him like a king. You staged this decadent ritual so you would not be suspected. After a short fight, you knocked Fabio unconscious. You locked the door and dragged the body to the altar. You wanted to set up someone acquainted with this masquerade.
I don't have the nerve to kill or stage a murder. I can't even leave my uncle's house.
Your uncle is a cruel man. He used everyone around him to his advantage. I don't believe he even truly loved Fabio. You knew very little love, support, or care from him. You lost your mind, Santos. And innocent people were hurt. I can't allow you to go free, but I can try to help you. I can provide my findings to the police. Decadence and perversity might poison anyone around them.
I don't know what to say. I can't breathe. I need to go outside.
Unfortunately, you can't.
I wish everything were different. I wish everything were different.
Constable, Santos Pinchetti killed Fabio. The evidence is clear.
Is that so? Huh. A man like him has actually grown a pair.
He intended to set up his uncle for the inheritance. The old man had humiliated him for years in every possible way.
Oh, what a bunch of degenerates.
Well, as for Mr. Pinchetti, the evidence tells us that he was wronged and pushed to commit a crime to be rid of his uncle. I suggest that you help in easing his sentence.
That's a sad story, all right. But at least it's good enough for my promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones, including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
All right.
Don't look at them. They'll serve us if necessary.
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess since I'm free, you were heard after all. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world?
Interesting philosophical discussion.
I take your point. There are some limits on us all, some compromises we must make. Despite my best efforts, we cannot remain entirely objective.
I didn't want to sadden you, Sherlock, only to make you think beyond your boundaries. You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track?
When Sherlock gets really heavily into cocaine.
A few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
Report number 07-43. Officers arrived to find the deceased identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Her face was swollen and her body and covered in red blotches, likely cause of death hypoxia. Waiting confirmation from medical examiner. Main suspect Otto Richter was arrested on the scene. The body was sent to autopsy. I do love these art film style breaks in this. Progress has definitely done really well with this.
The garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
We don't have a lot of time. We got about 20 minutes left. So why don't we head back to the manor? And we'll start trying to dig into what's going on with the garden. And that'll be it for this, for tonight. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh, casebook. Best I remember, blooming trees, shimmers in the pond. Okay, yes. Workers. Collie shingles. We're gonna do those two. I still need to do eel hunting. I got a couple. I said to be able to talk about man who built it. Gotta go back to mine. Let's see what we got there. Death by hypoxia. Did tracheotomy. That's honestly where my brain went, was potential trach. Okay, so there's the old ruins. That's one case. Should have a few more cases. I got a case up in Silverton for Mycroft. But we're gonna head back to Stonewood Manor and take a look and see what's going on and try to at least get into the backyard. Unless Mycroft is going to be here to piss me off. Entrance must be on the ground floor somewhere between two windows. I do declare, and I do believe, that the entrance is in the back of the house. Somewhere between two windows.
Sherry, please listen to me. Sherry.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain. And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we can help. There is no coming back from this.
I find myself awash in uncertainty. Perhaps now is not the time, with so much left to do.
Thank you, Sherlock. Thank you. Some doors can remain closed.
Cordona still calls for us, yes. And we will... But know this, John. One way or another, we will find ourselves back in front of this door, unable to avoid the truth any longer.
Okay, so John does not want... So we're gonna go start that body... We're gonna go down to the old ruins and try to discover... Or at the very least, start that case. Not that I'm achievement hunting or anything. I do want to have most of the cases finished, though. headed here. By the time we finish the game, that way we have a very complete collection on the YouTube channel for the game. Let's go find that body.
Good day, sir.
Merhaba. Good day to be alive.
And, by extension, a poor day to take a bullet. Do you know what happened here?
Officer said there was a duel, shots fired, and then that fellow took his last breath. Reminds me of last year.
So the inspectors have been and gone?
Of course. Police don't let an undertaker do his work before they've finished theirs.
Why are you just standing there?
I came to take the deceased to the cemetery, but caught sight of Mother Nature's bounty and had to drink my fill. He won't mind anyway. Let me tell you, friend, the sweet sea air, the calming whisper of the waves, it's a salve for all ills.
You mentioned a previous incident.
It was in the old city ruins. I remember the deceased was very rich. Front page news, very, very rich he was. But a coin makes a poor shield, as I always say. And who needs it when a view like this is free?
Who died?
Oh, no, mister. It is not my place to say.
Not your place. Nonsense. As you say, he won't mind.
Death with dignity, that's all we can hope for, sir. He doesn't need his name out there.
We're done.
This man is no more. He's ceased to be. He's expired and gone to meet his maker. He's a stiff, bereft of life. He rests in peace. You know the rest.
Did you just Monty Python reference that? That's fantastic. Would have been better if it would have been blue.
Entered the heart at an angle, implying it was fired from an elevated position. He died instantly. Predictably, the rumors were exaggerated. The blindfold is intact, with both eyes unharmed.
Stop poking the body, John. You're being a dick.
A key for a birdcage? I'll take it. Blank cartridges filled with a wax-covered gelatin bullet. Effectively harmless, even at close range, but leaves a nice red splash on impact. A Webley top-break revolver.
Okay.
A blindfold.
Another blindfold.
The duelist eventually reloaded his gun, but all the cartridges were filled with red non-lethal rounds. Your opponent was behind you. Red stains, relatively fresh. A Lamat revolver, .42 caliber. One chamber is empty, the others are filled with live rounds. Blank cartridges filled with red wax-covered gelatin bullets, most assuredly non-lethal, if rather theatrical on impact. A case for dueling Webley revolvers.
Mandatory blind dueling club rules. Do not talk about the blind dueling club. Never miss an opportunity to practice your shooting skills. Do not shed blood at duels or other club meetings. We, the undersigned, hereby declare that this duel shall be subject to and bound by the Blind Dueling Club's strict code of honor. May the winner be crowned blind champion. Signed ENS, EVS, and JD. Witnessed by HFVC, honorable referee and head of the Blind Dueling Club.
Exciting. I always wanted to be a member of a club. I bet you couldn't join. No good at following orders, are you, Sherry?
Ah, the contest then. I shall prove my blind devotion, so to speak, to their... inane rules, and you shall eat your words.
You know what? That Undertaker has a point. It is beautiful here.
Okay, I got the how. Single round. We're going to go to the newspaper. I want to see if I can find an article about the death. It's either going to be at the newspaper or it's going to be at the police department. And then we're probably going to wrap. So.
Come back once you've dealt with Panzer.
A tragic incident in Old City. The young heir to one of Cordona's richest families has died in a blind duel. During the curious incident, the victim, who cannot be named until all of his family are informed, stepped in the wrong direction, falling off the cliff. The survivors have expressed their deepest regrets and sworn to never duel again. Okay. Let's see if there's a police report. I'm doubtful, though. Very doubtful that there's a police report regarding this. Because normally if I pull documentation off of one source, i.e. like the newspaper, I can't, there should not be any more documentation, or at least that's the way the system used to work. But we're gonna check the archives anyway. Just to be safe. No, because it wouldn't be there. Well, then I think we're going to save and we're going to wrap for tonight. We'll touch base on this case and the next week. So we're going to go ahead and save. Override. And that'll be it for tonight. Thank you so much. Hey everybody, ToddFather6 here signing off. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to see more, click the videos that are listed or hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications in order to be notified when I've got more posted. Until then, as always, be good, be kind, be safe. See you next time.